The British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
From the Broadcast Center at BCIT's Burnaby Campus, this is All Talk Radio. You're listening to 1680 The Crow.
Good afternoon, I'm Sean Park, and here's your 3:30 news update. The Vienna House project in East Vancouver is the latest major housing development in the city. Our reporter Jake McGrail was at the public announcement for the site this morning, where it was celebrated as a milestone project.
The goal for Vienna House is a community-oriented and more energy-efficient complex. The building's design is expected to cut energy use in half and lower greenhouse gas emissions by 90% compared to other buildings of similar size. BC Minister of Health and MLA for Vancouver Kingsway, Adrian Dix, says he thinks the surrounding community will embrace the project, which contains a mix of market price, low-income, and shelter homes.
I think when people get the details of this project, about the diversity of housing, the fact that there are children who are going to be living here, the fact that it's going to be accessible, I think people are going to be proud of the project.
The 123 units inside Vienna House will range from studio apartments to 4-bedroom homes. Jake McGrail, BCIT's The Crow.
Jake McGrail joins us live in studio. So Jake, why is this project called Vienna House?
Yes, so this project actually came out of a partnership that the city of Vancouver signed with the city of Vienna in Austria back in 2018. The two cities agreed to work together to try and create new ways of building affordable and more energy efficient housing. So we got the Vienna House here, and in Vienna in a few years is also going to be a Vancouver House.
That's interesting. So why did they choose this location for the big project?
Yeah, so it's actually a very good location for this type of project because it's at the intersection of Victoria Drive and Stainsbury Avenue, which is within walking distance of the SkyTrain, of bus routes. It's within walking distance as well of the Trout Lake Park and Community Center. Very residential area. And Housing Minister Ravi Kahlon was also there at the announcement this morning, and he said that if the province is going to be spending millions of dollars on building transit, it only makes sense to add in a bunch more housing to those transit-specific areas.
Thank you. As Kamloops' population continues to grow and diversify, a new film festival is launching to showcase Black culture. Reporter Richard Davis takes a look into what it means for the community.
Jeremy Rodney is with the Kamloops Caribbean Society and works to help new immigrants feel welcome in Canada and overcome barriers. He says events like the Black Film Festival will help newcomers with the acclimatization process, providing a major cultural event for the community. He added how important it is for kids who might not learn their history in the Canadian school system.
So like the film festival, the films have to show you, the struggles that your forefathers probably went through, I know we overcame some of those struggles.
It's not just the kids who are impacted by the festival. It also holds a special meaning for Rodney.
I feel accomplished. It's something that I always try to cherish and hold on to, like the history, of the ancestors and stuff. So to see that this is coming to fruition, it makes me feel real good.
The festival starts this evening and runs until Saturday. Richard Davis, BCIT's The Crow.
Moving to more provincial news, Premier David Eby says the government plans to focus on healthcare, housing, and children's safeties. Reporter Anthony Atanasov has more on what the BC government is planning to build more on what is being done towards making houses more affordable.
Speaking to a total of 4 different community members, the conversation focused on healthcare, housing, and safety for children. Eby took the chance to further outline the BC Builds project, which will aim to provide affordable rental units for middle-income people.
We're able to provide middle-income rental housing significantly below market levels, and ultimately we'll be able to provide housing for purchase that's much cheaper than market levels.
Langley resident Peter Kraftchuk, attending the conversation as a spectator, appreciates the dialogue on these important issues.
Got a community that's really coming together, not only provincially, but municipally and even in local groups. So I'm very, very encouraged.
Others are saying changes towards providing affordable housing is not coming soon enough. BC United leader Kevin Falcon said in a tweet that British Columbians are looking for real action and results on housing. BC Builds project timeline to build the housing is about 12 to 18 months. Anthony Atanasov with BCIT's The Crow.
BC's opposition leader Kevin Falcon says he's putting forward a housing plan that will help first-time homebuyers save money on buying a home by cutting taxes. Falcon says if he's elected to form government in this fall's provincial election, he will get rid of BC's property transfer tax for the first-time homebuyers on purchases up to $1 million.
We're going to eliminate the property transfer tax for all first-time buyers up to $1 million. It is crazy that we are saying to people trying to buy their first home that we're going to penalize you with up to $18,000 in taxes.
Falcon's housing strategy comes days after Premier David Eby introduced a plan to help middle-income earners find affordable rental properties. He also promises to cut down on the provincial sales tax on new housing projects for developers, as well as implement a rent-to-own program for renters looking to buy their first home. Moving to national news, 36 law professors, legal researchers, and other staff from Alberta's two largest universities are asking the province to reconsider policy changes affecting transgender youth. Jennifer Cochon, a law professor at the University of Calgary, says their concerns are related to charter rights for the youth.
We make the argument that the policy violates a number of charter rights of trans children and youth. So their freedom of expression, their security of the person, and autonomy rights under Section 7 of the Charter, their equality rights, and also that the policy could be seen to amount to cruel and unusual punishment.
The policies have also spurred protests from people to groups such as the Alberta Medical Association. In Manitoba, the Manitoba government says it continues to look forward to a search of the two First Nations women who went missing in the Prairie Green landfill. Premier Wab Kinew says the government is working with those affected.
So we're working ahead with compassion. We're working ahead with the families and the Indigenous leadership in mind, and we expect that we will be able to fulfill our commitment to them and to the people of Manitoba.
Experts say the remains of Morgan Harris and Mercedes Myron are believed to have been taken years after they were killed in the spring of 2022. A man has been charged with first-degree murder in those deaths and two others. The RCMP says it is creating a national team to help coordinate investigations and information sharing around extortion schemes targeting South Asian businesses in BC, Alberta, and Ontario. Mounties say the team is not taking over any investigations. Rather, it will provide support to sharing information nationally between police forces. BC Public Safety Mike Farnworth says creating a national team is an important step forward in combating organized crime and extortion attempts in communities. And those were your news headlines. Coming up, sports after the break.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikakane.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras.
This is sports on 1680 The Crow.
Welcome back. We're starting the top with Prince Harry. Prince Harry has been racing down the bobsled track in Whistler today on a tiny skeleton sled. The prince, who has been there with his wife Meghan, got off the track from his first run and said everyone should have a go. The track is one of the world's fastest, and he says he started at the halfway mark, but still reached a speed of 99 kilometers an hour of 2 runs, while medical personnel stood by in case of an accident. The couple is there promoting the Invictus Games, which will be held in Whistler and Vancouver a year from now. Moving to hockey, Blackhawks star Connor Bedard is finally returning after missing for almost 6 weeks with a broken jaw. In a 4-2 losses at New Jersey game last month, Bedard got his jaws broken when he was hit by Devils defenseman Brendan Smith. He has received a surgery 3 days after the incident, even though he was away with his team for a while. He entered the game against Pittsburgh and tied with Minnesota defenseman Brock Faber after the rookie scoring lead with 33 points. Stateside, a two-time NHL champion and an Olympic gold medalist, Jaromir Jagr is returning from the Penguins. Jagr, who turns 52 today, is leaving the team to take a short break by traveling to Pittsburgh. Jagr says it is getting more physically demanding to continue playing at his age. He adds that his sense of obligation for the team is what keeps him going. 2 outdoor NHL hockey games are coming back to New Jersey Meadowlands this weekend over the MetLife Stadium. The New Jersey Devils are scheduled to play at the Philadelphia Flyers on Saturday, while the Rangers and Icelanders will face off Sunday afternoon in an all-NYC contest. That will be the 2 games in 2 days of pitting 4 Metropolitan Division rivals. Kansas City Chiefs offensive lineman Trey Smith has been using his belt to calm a young boy in distress in the aftermath of the Super Bowl mass shooting. Smith says he noticed a frightened boy who was with his father. He has told Good Morning America that he handed the youngster the belt and told him, "Hey buddy, you're the champion." Police say the shooting left 22 people injured and half of them under the age of 16. In soccer, Kylian Mbappe has told Paris Saint-Germain that he will leave the club at the end of the season. The Associated Press says they were told that the France international informed PSG president Nasser Al-Khelaifi that he would not stay at the club when his contract expires. Mbappe has not made his decision public yet, and he has previously been pursued by Real Madrid. If he does not leave, he will be a free agent after 7 years with the PSG. In basketball, it shouldn't take long for Caitlin Clark to become the NCAA women's career scoring leader tonight when number 4 Iowa hosts Michigan. Clark goes into the game needing 8 points to pass Kingsley Plum's total of 3,527 points. Clark has scored at least 8 games in the first quarter in the 17 of 25 games this season, and she hasn't gone into halftime with fewer than that. Clark and her dynamic game have captivated the nation. More than just her pursuit of the record, her long three-point shots and flashy passes have raised interest in the women's game to an unprecedented levels. Moving on to the weather. It is mainly cloudy today in Vancouver with a high of 7 and a low of 1. And that's it for your news today. Come back next Tuesday for more news and sports updates.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika King.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Teresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika King. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.